This week on Hermitcraft.
All right, I think everything looks good. This saw blade helps with some of the old pigments need to come off, and here we go.
Who would have thought they'd get this amount of mileage out of just changing their skins? Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is Pixelriffs, our writer is ZloyXP, and you just wait till this bunch discovers account renaming. Seriously, so much work has been put into just returning the demised Hermit's appearance to normal. We've had the Saturator, the Desaturator, the Mumbo Unjumbler, and whatever B-Dubs is doing. Is this CrossFit? Is this what CrossFit is? The fanbase has already speculated that the whole Saturator malfunction was but an inside job to then charge extra for skin adjustments. We'll see. Might just be an elaborate scheme to enact revenge on Iskall. You know, since there isn't going to be a chance to blow him up in the upcoming Boombox tournament. And yes, there is a Boombox tournament where 4 teams of 2 will have to face off against each other and also against Tango's weird minigames. Episodes are already releasing, although they won't be covered in this week's recap since they were released on Saturday, so in the meantime, feel free to place bets on what team is more likely to go home with the gold in the comments. Keep in mind, this team keeps blowing up things designed to make concrete for them. This team includes a man who couldn't defuse a Santa hat. These guys are more likely to try launching llamas into the air than actually try and win the game, and this team has a ZAF. But with that out of the way, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week.
This is where the good stuff is. Am I right?
Starting with Cubfan, whom we neglected to report has become a crazy cat hoarder. For a while now, Cub has been collecting every jelly cat he sees and renaming them into a variety of jelly flavors.
All of them are over here. You might as well stand all of them up at once, because why not?
This went mostly unreported by us, seeing how wanting a lot of Scar's cat is nothing out of the ordinary.
What? Guy, it's a cat. Just leave it, bro. It's fine.
By now, though, Cub has amassed every flavour of jelly possible, and this jellicle bunch is occupying quite a bit of space, along with space dogs, who don't seem to share any thematical naming conventions. This time around, the pet bunch is split into 2 groups by species and put into a doghouse town and a cat tree forest, respectively. Which, yes, Cub, it is called a cat tree. The term is much less complicated than you think.
I have never personally owned a cat. I think they're called scratch poles, cat scratch poles. Is that what they're called?
The fowl friends get a much more royal treatment. The Concorp boardroom is filled with a variety of macaws, all there to parrot whatever decisions Cub and Scar pretend they came to. The chairbirds are left with ample escape routes too. Concorp's network of underground tunnels spreads further to the many farms hidden in the area. And Concorp land spreads quite a bit and even outran their satellite maps.
The back part is not on the map back here, and part of the minecart station is not on the map up here. So, yeah, pretty big area.
For such a sprawling operation, the bedroom storage closet Cub's been hiding in is found too modest. So naturally, the best way to fix that is to give it a diamond block floor.
Because I replaced it with diamond blocks. Bingo, Yahtzee, the floor is diamonds. Okay.
You don't need expensive floors to live a life of luxury though, you need underfloor heating. That's what TFC continues to work on this week, starting by putting hay bales underneath his campfires in the hope that the smoke particles will linger in the sauna room for longer. He's still keen to fit a mechanism which turns the fires on and off though, which is why Iskall dropped off all that gunpowder by the vault entrance. His first thought is to douse the flames with some splash bottles of water. On second thoughts though, water buckets seem like a less disposable way of controlling the campfires, so he rigs up a couple of buttons, one to dispense and remove a bucket of water, and another to relight the embers with a flint and steel.
That one works beautiful. You only have to hit it once. The other one, well, you gotta hit that one twice, because once to put the fires out and a second time to pick up the bucket.
Still, there are things a diamond floor can't buy, which would be anything, because why are you using money as a floor? The point being, False Symmetry has a more sane way to treat her treasures. For one, she re-desaturates herself to looking normal again.
Yes, I look like me again! Oh, that is absolutely fantastic.
For 2, she plays run till the cows come home, which takes a while because only villagers have those kind of mechanics.
No, that was a no. Anyway, let's see if we can get to that red door again. I should have taken it. I should have taken the red door, guys.
The cash lost on falling through the floor is quickly regained by her shops, which saw a bit of patronage during demise. The pufferfish tank definitely pulled its weight, and the rest of the pet fish shop went to live with Corrales. Still, the Nuggets for Gold machine is quick to remind her that the real treasures are the memories we made along the way. Like, remember when the Nuggets for Gold machine had diamonds in it? Ha ha ha, good times.
Oh, that must mean they're out of diamonds. Oh, no. Okay, well, I guess we better hold on to these treasure tokens and maybe display them in the museum instead.
Anyway, False retreats to her base to make a proper memorabilia corridor. It is then filled with reminders of events and things over the season, from her still Joker face to even banner variants she considered for branding. It's very endearing to see what sentimental knickknacks she manages to bring up. And speaking of Joker faces, Iskall is still trying to rearrange the scrambled mess under his dragon mask, but he's also trying to unscramble his concrete maker, counting the days since the last workplace accident, and trying to find even more efficient ways to create and convert concrete powder, some of which may or may not include potatoes.
I thought I'd just show you my new filter item of doom. I'm hoping by doing so, maybe I'm protected by any potato mishaps in the future.
The plan, which he eventually follows through with, is to build a proper concrete shop, independent of Sahara, on the fringes of the shopping district, because despite wanting to use a lot of concrete himself, his main priority is getting rich so he can put on his fancy jacket. He's already living pretty comfortably. He certainly doesn't mind giving away a bunch of emeralds when he drops off compensation for Stress Monster getting an empty loot box out of the Run loot machine last week.
Which is fun. Just gonna go ahead and place this box right there.
But this doesn't stop him clutching his diamonds when Mumbo introduces the latest solution to their, skin condition.
It should be a really cool looking redstone build, I hope.
The Unjumbler is designed to glue the right bits of Iskall and Mumbo back onto their respective avatars, and after a few false starts with the piston feed tapes, it goes pretty well for its inventor.
My disgusting skin will be no more. That's so cool though.
Mumbo wires the whole thing up to illustrate one's arms, legs and face becoming accurate again, adds a few sound and light effects, then charges 20 diamonds for the privilege of using it. This time he even tests it first to make sure it works fine, and finally restores his suit and mustache to their former glory. Iskall, on the other hand, steps into the Unjumbler and emerges looking like a bootleg turtle man.
Alright, so 20 diamonds goes in, and I look I look different. What? No. Oh no, I see.
Anyway, this is me watching Season 5 recaps.
Oh, that's so sad. I thought I was good.
Zombie Cleo, somehow the person with the least confusing skin progression, returns to her armor stand designing shop to find a new order. Not from Star Wars, but rather from Stress Monster. She wants a crowd of partying Vikings for the dining room of her iceberg castle. Standbook add-on in hand, Cleo arrives at the area and, once thoroughly wowed by the ambience, gets to work on putting the dining in the dining hall.
Alright, so I've been having a think about plates. I was thinking of this, which is nice, and even the border around the thing, but if that happens, you've effectively got to reset the pressure plate dancing on the tables unless you want that to happen, which is that's kind of irritating.
This is where we interrupt your programming for an open letter to Zombie Cleo from our writer ZloyXP.
Hall, stand, helmet, stair, piston, item frame, food. Ta-da!
Faulty plate technology aside, let her fix it. It's fine. There. The room looks much more alive after her work, even though filled in part by people long gone from the server. Also, Stress gets a cool gamer chair.
I didn't put the sparkles in. I'm assuming that's something Stress put in because everything sparkles around Stress. I'm wearing a crown! Oh my god, Cleo is absolutely amazing!
It's definitely a good way for Stress to avoid flat pack furniture in her attempts to get back at the Idea Boys for buying her ice and reselling it. A sentiment she doubles down on by building a miniature ice spike outside the front door and letting people know she's taken down a burg or two and restocked the shopping district, and letting the idea team know they're on thin ice.
Nice! Okay, so I haven't outbought all of their stuff, so they still bought all of that off of me. But now my campaign is here. So if anybody comes looking for ice, they know where to go.
But things aren't quite as frosty as you'd expect between her and B-Dubs, especially when she commissions a cozy custom kitchen from the man himself, once she's done making fun of his face anyway.
You know,
It's very off-putting.
I come over here, I don't say anything mean about you, or your clothes, or face.
But I look normal.
Oh, see, this is just like elementary school, isn't it?
At least the job pays well, and Stress is over the moon with the transformations to her dining hall and kitchen.
It's looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's nice.
She finds other ways to part with her diamonds when she finds the run compensation box dropped off at her new sugarcane farm, and promptly heads over to drop another stack of diamonds into the game in exchange for a handful of loot boxes and the satisfaction of actually reaching the green section this time.
Ooh. Oh. Ooh. Ah.
And finally, there's B-Dubs, who's still having flashbacks to that one time he got trapped by Zombie Cleo.
We died from Cleo, and I should have known, but sometimes you go blindly into the dark night.
After scrubbing the castle free of the graffiti left by Grian, and briefly wondering how he's going to hand out his Secret Santa present in February,
It's open to interpretation, right?
he meets up with Stress to assess the kitchen space and decides the only solution is to break into Corrales' demise bunker in search of sea pickles. I guess the store-bought ones are too punny. The kitchen itself comes together beautifully, although the sushi chef keeps trying to escape.
He seems good. You okay? Yes? Uh-oh. He's making a run for it!
But even after being paid handsomely, B-Dubs is hesitant to spend the diamonds on reorienting his skin with the expensive gadgets at Hermitland. Instead, he returns to the, detention room of his castle and decides to put himself on the rack. Plus a little extra dye in the dispenser for effect. Rather than a medieval torture, it kinda just looks like a weird workout routine. But it seems to have put a little bit of colour back into his cheeks. Now if only he'd stop side-eyeing everyone. And that's just about it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs. Do you want more of us, but with more chickens? Then have we got the series for you. Episode 1 of our Chicken Skyblock escapade is linked in the end screen theatre. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.